Okay everyone, let's get ready for some comic book fights. Hey everyone, it's your boy Eric once again with another Eric Illustrations video. Today's video is going to be real interesting. We're going to go with a superhero fight. But before we go into that, remember to like, share and subscribe every video that we drop. And also hit the notification bell if you're going to be notified every time we drop a new video. And also drop some love in the comments below. If you like any other music in the background, remember to check Be The Human, link in the description below. So let's just jump right into it, right? Okay guys, so today's video is gonna be real interesting. I really wanted to do like a superhero fight, like a very dynamic comic book pose, but for a fight specifically. So I wanted to choose two characters that were real good, that I like both of them, and I want to know what you guys think of this fight between Nightwing and DareDevil. I think they're very similar. I'm going to talk about that. All I want to say is I'm a little biased, but other than that, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so like I was saying, for this video, I really want to talk about my process when it comes to creating art, and not just for these pieces specifically when it comes to superhero scenes or superhero fights, but art in general. Like, if you think, I think that for me, one of the most important parts of making believable scenes for comic books or for things in general is making a believable scene, like something that you know that would actually happen, and it's not like forced or anything like too hard to believe, like the uncanny valley, if you know what I mean. So I wouldn't put like Nightwing kicking Superman in the face and Superman reacting like this, because I don't think that would happen in a million years unless like Superman's with no superpowers. But that's not my point. My point is that I need to make someone that if Nightwing would kick him, or if Nightwing would have a fight with him, it would be a fair fight, and not just a fair fight, but like a very close fight, because I like interesting fights. So for this one I chose DareDevil, not just because DareDevil is a very cool hero with cool martial arts and a very dynamic, but also because if you think about Nightwing and DareDevil, they're very similar. But like, I'm gonna talk about that in a sec. So first, I think the pose is very important because it has to translate the movement and the impact and make it in a way that feels like the kick action is actually happening. And I think I nailed that in this piece. So once I had the pose, I had to think of who would be kicking who. And for me, that's kind of the bias part, because like I said, I'm a huge Nightwing fight since I was a kid, because I grew up watching Dick Grayson's Robin in the animated series. And when the new adventures came in, I was already getting into my teenager years, and that's when Dick Grayson was already Nightwing. So for me, I grew up with the character, so that's why I like it. But going back to the scene, so I had to choose a movement for both of them that will feel like they're in the same plane. So obviously, if I'm making someone get to me when they're getting kicked, I had to make DareDevil a little bigger. But also I had to play a little with proportions when it comes to the foot for Nightwing, because I had to choose that pose in a way that it will feel like they're in the same plane. That's why I also added speed lines, so I would give weight to the scene, weight to the kick, because when you're getting kicked, you're also getting thrown, like you can see here, and you see the movement lines, the speed lines, and you see the kick, and you're thinking, oh, DareDevil just got kicked in the face, right? And that's what I like about it. And well, the word in the background, the lettering, that's just natural for me when it comes to comic books. I had to do something like that. I think that just comes natural and it looks good. So comic book art is something that you have to think a lot about, because sometimes the anatomy, even if you use photo reference, the anatomy does not have to be perfect, or at least it has to be a little exaggerated, because you know, like the superhero proportions are a little different. And if you want me to talk about a little more about proportions, I can talk about it in another video. But the human proportions are like 5 heads and a half, 5 heads to 6 heads, and with superheroes you can take that up to 7 heads of length, because superheroes are usually more heroic, they have bigger bodies, bigger muscles. And if you see the proportions on a comic book hero, That will not be accurate to a person, or at least not to most people. However, there are some people that I think fit the criteria very well. But okay, so the reason I chose these two characters, I'm gonna get back to that. I chose Nightwing and Daredevil because to me they're very similar in a lot of ways. I'm gonna start by saying they're both martial artists. They were both trained since they were kids. With Nightwing was trained since he was probably born by his acrobat parents, but like he still got training in martial arts and fighting since he joined Batman. And Daredevil, he got trained by the Stick when he joined his organization. But the point is, they're both very skilled martial artists that have been trained from birth, and they've also been trained to read people. Matt can like read stuff like heartbeat, breathing, and stuff like that. And Nightwing has been trained to fight since he's a kid, so he's basically natural. He can also read movements and be very athletic and very acrobatic when it comes to dodging punches and kicks. So they also use skin tight outfits if you think about it, but also they both have batons or similar to sticks when it comes to fighting, which is a very similar weaponry as well. So both humans at a typical physical condition with sticks and martial arts training. Who would win in this fight? Well, to me, it's a very close fight if you think about it, because they would definitely both get punches in and they will definitely get the upper hand at some points in the fight. But I think there's a determining factor when it comes to who will win this, and that's why I did Nightwing kicking Daredevil in the face. I don't think this is going to be the end of this fight. This is probably just part of the fight. But I think Nightwing would take it because even though Matt has great martial arts training, well, and he was trained by the Stick, but Nightwing was trained by no other than Batman. And Batman is a guy that not only teaches you how to fight, but also how to understand fights and how to understand your opponent in a way that I don't think Stick would. Because Batman is more of a detective than just a sensei. Batman is a guy who would teach you how to read the opponent. So even if you're losing, you're still trying to understand why they are on the upper hand, where they have the upper hand in the fight. And Daredevil has everything to win this fight, but Dick was trained in a way that he would notice Matt's lack of vision on the way he moves after exchanging a few punches, or maybe like doing some stuff. He would realize that Matt's not using his sight to determine this fight, but using hearing and other things to determine that where Matt is and how he fights. And that's why I think after a few minutes of fighting, Dick Grayson would definitely take this fight. And it was very close, but he would definitely take it at the last second based on the way he reads the fight. So for this reason, I think Nightwing would take the fight. But again, this will be a very close fight, and I think like Nightwing would probably win 6 out of 10 fights with Matt, which is a very like 6-4. They would definitely be very close. And yeah, that's why I think this is an interesting fight based on their scales. If you guys think I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. But I really want to know if you guys think I nailed this, because I wanted to get that comic book look. Even though I'm trying to give it my style, I also wanted to make it a little more classic. That's why I chose the bright colors for the background. But yeah, I think this is a fight that I would like to see officially in comics, even though I will not see it ever, probably. And also I would like to see it like in live action at some point, which I don't think will happen either. But yeah, again, if you guys are thinking about why would Dick Grayson be fighting Daredevil, let's just say one of them went to the other's dimension or universe, and they ran into each other. And well, Nightwing is used to fighting people with crazy outfits, and well, this guy's dressed as a devil, so no brainer. I don't think a lot of people would see a guy dressed in a red devil suit. I think he's a good guy. But then again, that's just me. And I think that's what I wanted to talk about. I don't know, guys, let me know. Alright everyone, so that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that drawing. I really had a lot of fun drawing it, and I really hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and also let me know what others matchups you think could be cool for like superhero matchups. I want to do some Marvel versus DC comics mostly, because those are the most known comic book heroes. But let me know what characters you think should fight, even if it's Marvel versus Marvel or DC versus Marvel, like fights that you think could be real balanced and really interesting to watch. Okay guys, so once again, thanks for joining. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit every button, share it with your friends, and talk about it, comment, give us love, give us hate, just, you know, help us with the algorithm. And well, thanks for joining once again, and stay blessed.
Grinding my whole life. Stop that. Grinding my whole life.